Welcome back. We're talking with Minister Vic Fedeli from the Ministry of Economic Job Growth and Trade. Minister, in this segment, I went to the Coalition of Concerned Manufacturers and Business of Canada members, and I asked them to come up with some questions for you. So are you ready? I'm putting you on the hot seat now.
Always ready, Jocelyn.
Okay, question one comes from Shelley Bacon of Northern Cables, and he wants to know what Ontario will do with electrical prices if legislation is passed for electrical heat only in new homes and businesses.
Yeah, I've toured their plant, by the way, and know the fun they have with the across the border in the States with the big signs that say, "Come on over here, we'll give you cheap hydro." Look, what I will say is, again, I will leave more of that into the hands of the energy minister, but I will say, we are doing everything we can to continue to lower the cost of doing business. And in some cases, we will make up for it in the apples where we don't in the oranges.
Okay, great. Our next question comes from Bob Lyman. And he asks, as the Ontario government decides what position to take on future changes to the internal trade agreements, that's the interprovincial trade agreements, will you give small to medium-sized company a seat at the table and a chance to be heard in some way?
Yeah, I think that's a great approach. You know, the Premier and I talked just yesterday about interprovincial trade, and he asked me to bring him up to date on the file because the other premiers are really starting to see where Ontario is on that because we're so far ahead. The Premier, I asked the Premier when I first took this job, are we free traders? And his answer was absolutely. And so you can see that Ontario is leading in the free trade, interprovincial trade discussions. And so, yes, I think there's a huge seat at the table.
You know, we want to be able to buy wine from BC is what people are telling me.
You know, I've told the people in BC, in Ontario, you can't worry. BC's not going to ship, $8 bottle of wine here. You know, you've got to be able to understand you're going to have a huge market to ship to as well. You can't be afraid of this competition.
And Ontario wine's the best in the world. I'm telling you, if you haven't had a chance to enjoy them, they are wonderful.
Absolutely.
So the next question comes from Byron Nelson, the CEO of Leyland Industries, and he starts with a recommendation. He was asking if you could take a portion of the revenue that the province collects from manufacturer and run some ads about our domestic manufacturing capabilities and what's made in here, a kind of made in Canada products education plan. And his question for you is, can the province make our manufacturers more competitive, both in domestic and the international markets?
Well, Byron, you should go on my Twitter account then at whatever it is, Victor at Fedeli or Victor Fedeli, because every single day we show products that are made in Ontario. And in fact, we are just launching, I'm going to sneak it out here right now, we're just launching a new series of Ontario-made vignettes that show Ontario products, and it's in conjunction with Canadian manufacturers and exporters. We put $500,000 into the promotion of Ontario Made. We put another $1 million into it. I'll just take a second, Joss. The Premier's example is, look, if you're at a home hardware and you're buying a barbecue and you see the Napoleon barbecue made in Barrie, you see the Broil King barbecue made in KW, and you see the Weber made in Chicago, all things being equal, pick up the dang barbecue that's made in Ontario and support your friends and neighbors.
I can get behind that. Absolutely. Our next question comes from John Galt, CEO of Husky Injection Moldings. And he asks, many of us in business believe that the full impact of COVID policy has not yet been experienced. And this is at a time where Ontario citizens are experiencing unprecedented inflation and businesses are being driven out of Canada. What will your office do to turn the situation around for Ontario citizens?
Bob, I'm going to say the same thing here that I've said all along. We continue to lower the cost of doing business. We believe that's the best thing the government can do is pull all the levers that we can. So you've seen no tax increases since we got elected. All of the tax increases that were to go in place by the previous government, we did not implement them on that January 1 back in 2019. So we're looking for more ideas from John and others on how we can reduce red tape. And we've saved $400 million so far, and there's a long way to go. We'll do anything you need.
Okay, wonderful answers to our members' questions. We appreciate so much the insights on the economy and growth for Ontario.